Welcome back to Hackers Unity. I am your host Satyam Kumar. Today I am incredibly pleased to be joined by Surya Rao. Sir, it's an absolute honor to have you on the podcast. Before we dive into the deep end, I would love to give you the floor. Could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi everyone, my name is Surya. I'm currently in Kansas City, Missouri, in US, United States. I, you might know, I have like 17 plus years of experience at SS&C DST. I joined back in South India, Hyderabad in 2008, and since then I'm with this company. I'm a full stack Java developer and a technical lead. I'm also doing my master's in data science at UT Austin. So great to meet you all.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Sir, like to kick things off, I want to talk about the mindset of a builder that you have, as you are a gold medalist from JNTU, Hyderabad, as I have seen it on the LinkedIn, which takes an immense academic discipline, but the industry requires a completely different kind of muscle. Actually, building, shipping real products. How did you personally make that mental shift, like from a topper or a gold medalist, I can say, to a great problem solver? Because it is hard for many students who are good in academics but lacks technical knowledge or the shift that you did.
Wow, that's a very good question, and you're right on. So, yeah, since my beginning of my childhood, I was very passionate. I was a very good student. I was always focusing on the academics and grades and the marks, and focusing to be on a top of the academic performance. But until I graduated and from my undergrad, I mean, definitely I gave my best at my undergrad. I used to study every single day and spend a lot of time in understanding the concepts in programming. Even during the summer vacation, I used to spend hours together programming, learning the basics. So from that perspective, I definitely had a very strong foundation programmatically. But when it comes to the industry, it's a completely different ball game, as you said. It took some time for me to understand and rewire and unlearn and understand what is really needed for the industry. So at that time, I decided I want to be a programmer, and I choose Java programming language. And what I realized is it doesn't matter whether I have gold medal or good grades or how much knowledge I have. What does it really need is being an expert at one area. So for my case, it was Java. So I already have a very good fundamental programming knowledge, but I started doing some small scale applications. And through that, I understood. And after failing multiple interviews initially, even to get an interview call, it was a very tough time at that time, in 2003. So, but I did not give up and consistently worked on it. And it's a big learning curve for the first few years, I should say. And then it it did not take much time for me to excel at work also, because all the ethics and the principles or the good studying habits or whatever I had academically, I could transform that into a good team player. Hope that helps.
Sir, as I have seen on your LinkedIn, you have been in SS&C for like 17 years, 11 months. That is quite a long time. Like for our generation, they used to like to switch in a year or two from companies to companies based on package. So what kept you so long in a company?
That's a very good question. So, how I want to see is, even during my initial career, I did make few switch. Like initially, I was part of the Tata Group, CMC Limited, and then moved on to Nest Technologies. Those were short periods, like 1 to 2 years. But when I joined the DST, it's being a product-based company, I got exposure to the product development, and I really like the way the product-based companies operate. They give value to the good employees, especially if you're technically competent. I really got very good opportunities being at this company. I did go to I did came on L1 with the US in within like a couple of years and went back and went to Bangkok and stayed there for a couple of months and then came to US on visa. So definitely, company has given me a lot of opportunities. At the same time, I felt in a product based company, this is where you can excel. Like if you are more with the organization and you know the more deeper understanding of the frameworks and the applications and the complex enterprise systems. So the more you know the system, the better you can help others and perform better. So that really helped me, and I never felt a reason to leave this company. Uh, Sorry, I lost your audio. I don't know,
Oh,
it's my side. Yep.
sorry, sir. Sir, like I'm saying, it is so rare to hear that perspective, like for long-term growth or you can say loyalty. But switching gears from mindset to actual technical skills, what is one specific technology, tool, habit you see students spending hundreds of hours on learning today that actually doesn't matter which much when they got into a real industry, like they apply for jobs and suddenly they see that skill or the habit they are continuously practicing that doesn't really matter.
You're right. Yeah, the because of the AI, right? Now the the memory part or the knowing part or what is what part is taken care by AI. So what we really need, the human skills like the communication skills or interpersonal skills or your ability to solve a problem or your ability to identify when there is a problem where could be the issue or the way you are able to code. Can you build a reusable, a cleaner code? And so there are so many traits like this would help, especially students getting into the IT industry. Instead of focusing on the concepts and the programming language or the skills, focus more on the personal skills, the interpersonal skills, which AI cannot replace.
So that's a massive reality check, as I see. But I want like let's take a scenario. Right now, a first year student is looking at AI, web development, cyber security, cloud, and data science. They are completely paralyzed by choice. Like they are overwhelmed that they have so much like in options or to learn. Like, what is your framework for choosing a path when everything looks important um, in this generation? Maybe because like AI keeps taking jobs and they are actually making things smoother, but not for the youth.
You're right. From that perspective, I really feel your question. I don't want to answer in a very positive way to say that uh, AI will not create problem. Definitely, AI, in my opinion, is going to create opportunities. At the same time, it's going to create a threat for the industry as a whole. So, from that perspective, what I really recommend for the students is when you have so many options to get into, the more flexible you are, more adapt adaptive, whatever the requirements of the organization or whatever is the need of the time, if you can mold yourself into that. Because with the AI, now there is no restriction on where you cannot enter. So there is an help you always receive from the AI, so better you adapt to that situation and become better with it. Sorry, I lost your voice again.
Sorry, sir. That was like I maybe muted it, so there will be no clutter in the audio. Sir, back to the question. As still on framework, let's say to clear the noise, what if you could speak directly to a talented student who is listening right now, someone who is terrified about the AI replacing jobs and unsure if they will succeed? What is one core truth you would tell them to focus on to guarantee, or to even like give him a clarity they build a resilient career?
So, one definite path I see going forward is there is so much of hype around AI. At the same time, there is a reality of what AI can do. So, as a, because to survive in this uh, very fast changing AI landscape, the one skill what I really recommend try to do is start with the basics, like do some hands on very simple projects related to the AI, like experiment with building a very simple agent or build a skill, AI skill, and so experiment with this and see what you can do with the AI. So I think. And someone said recently, it's a competition is not about human versus AI or the developer versus AI. It's a developer who can work with AI versus the developer who cannot work with AI. So from that context, I say the better you become, the more knowledgeable, up to date you are. I still think there is a human need potential because the number of opportunities that AI is going to create, I think we will be much more empowered. So the more knowledge you have, the better you will be positioned.
Yes, sir. I completely agree with what you said. And I had a new perspective of AI. Like, I used to think AI would be like human versus AI, rather than we have to learn to how we can use it to do stuff and make our career grow. And I have a question with that. Uh, like you had a big career of about 20 years or more, I would say. What was the biggest career mistake you have made that student can learn from?
It's a very good question. The the mistake, if you say, like I should have spent more time in doing more practical examples or real projects than focusing more on the academics. I was focusing more on the grades and the academics, and that instead, if I had built more apps, learned more practical knowledge, so I would have been better positioned. But yeah, that's the one suggestion I can give.
Sir, in this era, people used to vibe code things. As many of my friends still doesn't have an idea of a programming language, but still vibe codes much better app versus those students or friends of mine who has like a idea of a programming language but still lacks how to deploy things, how to create a real life project. So how from your perspective, how would you say what students should start with? Vibe coding stuff, as you have mentioned earlier, like we should practice on creating projects. So, how should we do it? Like vibe code it, or the old way, the like coding by hand, or doing things, or learning a language? How should a person, like a student, starting coding, should tackle that?
I say the balance is the key. I mean, uh, you must have the fundamentals of the programming if you understand how the system work, because the more challenge I see in recent times is with the vibe coding, with the AI coding assistant tools, we can do the faster development, especially if it is a brand new app or a new POC. You're trying to experiment, you have an idea, you want to build something. It's very quick to build something, but once it is built, to fix an issue or make an enhancement or make a small change, it's taking a lot of time because the more code it has to review, understand, and then make a fix. A human might be a better if you they can give a better prompt to fix the right thing at right place, at least if they have a basic idea of how the things are. I won't say like you learn all the grammar and basics and all the details of the programming, but understand the structure of it, how the programming language work.
Okay, sir. On that, I have a question on that also. Like, what skills do you think will be become extremely valuable in next 5 years? But most students are ignoring today, not on the soft skill part, the technical skills or the industry relevant skills I'm talking about.
I think the future will be the developers should coexist with the agents. So the fellow developers need not to be a human being. It could be agent. So you should be in a position to control or configure or coordinate or orchestrate the other agents to speed up the development. So so you should be able to understand what these AI agents are doing, or you should be able to configure, deploy, orchestrate. So the more skills of managing an AI agents could be a most important skill going forward, in my opinion, so people can focus more. So these things you get only by getting an hands-on experience in doing these kind of things. So there's a lot of opportunities, and it's very easy to learn at this time, but it's also a very challenging time because you have so much information overload. You need to know which one to take and which one to ignore, and effectively managing the time. So these are the some few important skills needed.
So, I completely the perspective of yours is simply we should see how the agents or things works, and we should keep an eye on them, and we should try to understand its architecture, how it's doing the thing, the how we can coexist with it. Is that what you are trying to say?
Yep.
Because I'm not. Yes. Sir, I have also a question. Like, I am from a tier 3 college, and many students, like me, has a thing in my head, like to say, like only opportunities that is given to IIT and NITs students. So, is that true, or what did we miss? What is the difference between a tier 3 to a IIT, NIT government colleges? Um, in terms of opportunities, what different they get, in terms of networking, in terms of growth, what different is there compared to a tier 3 college?
So AI is democratizing the entire world so well that a the knowledge or the information available to a high tech professional sitting in San Francisco has the same information is available to a rural kid studying remotely, or per se then they don't have a money to get into a tier 3 college, so they can compete because there is nothing stopping them to learn, right? Do not compare yourself with even any of the top tier colleges even in India, because the whole industry, the education industry might change completely over the next few years, because the information, because the information was the scarce thing, right? I mean, you need a good professor to explain the classroom a few years back. No longer the case now. With the YouTube or any platforms, you can pretty much, if you are interested to learn, there is no limit for anyone. So do not keep anything like that in your brain that you are any. And in my opinion, uh, the tier 3 or a rural kid would have much more leverage or a runway comparing with a kid in a San Francisco, because the cost of living there is very high. So with a minimal resources, you can do the best job. So you can quote yourself for uh, a less price, but give more. So and in the worldwide competition, so I think the people who are uh, from a from a rural background or in a tier 3 college would have much more better positioned than any other kid in the world, I should say.
Sir, as I have a doubt recently, uh, we have friends in colleges who learn skills but do not show them on LinkedIn. I heard from many seniors of mine that it is important to showcase your skills, like continuously be do updates on LinkedIn and things like that. Sir, does it really matters to update on LinkedIn, or does it matters to building skills is fine, but like we have to be active on LinkedIn? Like my
In my Yeah, that's a very good perspective or a question. In my opinion, balance is the key here. I mean, you should not overhype what is not there. At the same time, if you're if you truly did something good, uh, it is required, let others know and share your knowledge and inspire others, or let others know that you are valuable, because how otherwise, who will promote you, right? You should be the promoter of yourself, and it should be in a positive way, it should be that more truthful way. I should say, if your capability is 100, at least you should promote 80 to 90 of what you are, right? You need not to overhype anything. uh, so that's my opinion.
Sorry, sir. On to that, many students feel pressure because someone got an internship on LinkedIn, someone is getting like building something as a startup, someone is becoming an AI engineer. Like early hype a student is doing. How should a student deal with this comparison trap? That's what I am saying about the LinkedIn. When we register or do or start LinkedIn in early phases, we used to uh, tra- uh, um, do this comparison with like our fellow classmates or like our colleagues.
So what I recommend is, do not compare with your the fellow students or anyone, but get inspiration from whatever is the good thing happening, not just at your college level or your city level, but at the world platform. So India is growing so rapidly, and there is nothing should stop you to compare yourself positively with any best of the best happening in the world. See what opportunities you can grab and how you can improve on, or what's the right thing to do or what right way to do. So to seek the right path or right guidance or where the industry is heading, it's always better to look up to the positive things, but at the same time there is no reason to discourage yourself for any reason, by comparing with anyone.
Sir, as you have been on such a high position as a lead, you have done hiring many times. Like you have hired many of the the staff in your company. What does like a person who is hiring in terms of a company thinks or wants for a student who is like an fresher? Like they search for technical skills, or they search for what is the perspective of the person who is hiring about the fresher? How should the ideal fresher should be in terms of company?
So, very good question. So, even the hiring strategy has changed over the years, especially with the AI. It's no longer needed for you to prove a particular syntax is right or wrong, or do you remember some keyword or not. So the most important thing is, uh, are you ready? Are you ready to adapt to the situation, or do you have the basic required skills? And how are you as a team? Uh, are you focusing more on your self development, or you are ready for it? Contribute, help, grow along with the team, and are you a problem solver? So, and how flexible you are to learn, switch, change, adapt to the new things. So these are the skills I think so very critical going forward.
So, as you have mentioned, we should have a teamwork skill, or we should be able to collaborate with on the person on our team. As a student, like who is learning continuously in college, being separated from many things like cultural activity due his learning path, he was doing that. I'm just taking a scenario for like an audience who is like an introvert, I would say, doesn't participate on things like in cultural fest, do not like have an environment where he can practice or have those skills, as you mentioned, the company would ask for. How can they enhance or like upskill in terms of these skill with a nature being introvert?
So generally, introverts are not bad. It's a bad quality. You'll get more personal time to showcase your skills and see to really do something impactful or do something really good worth of a value. You need a focused time, and if you're not an outgoing person, or if you're not over communicating with others, that's completely fine, because that's you would have a lot of positive sides of that, because you'll have more personal time, more focused time, more where you can prove yourself to the world. It need not be people around you, right? It could be the world, and there's no way you can speak with the world except by showcasing your work. So but at the same time, nothing needs to stop. I mean, we need not to brand ourselves as an introvert or an extrovert. Whatever is needed to the situation, if you can adapt and do whatever is there needed, then that makes you, that's the flexibility part, that is the adaptability part I was talking about. So we need not to draw any boundary to ourselves to any type of a personality, I should say. Hope that explains your question.
Mm. Thank you for your perspective, sir. It's been great, learning from you about stuff, asking you questions for your time and so. It has been like a master class for me. Like if I would have done 10 to 15 master classes, like on different things, would have got this perspective that you shared in so small time. I would thank you for your time and sharing your journey and your realities with Hackers Unity as a community. On a personal note, I have learned a ton from you today. I would love to stay connected and continue learning. The execution part you have mentioned earlier, as I navigate my own career on it, also I am also focusing on execution as much as I am focusing on learning technical skill, because in this era it matters a lot for everyone watching.
Yep. And I'm truly grateful for this opportunity, to connect with the students of this generation. And this is a wonderful platform for me to express myself and share my ideas, thoughts. And thank you so much for reaching out to me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.